Alright, before we begin, I would just like to apologize. This video should have come out a while ago, but I kind of got distracted and yeah. Anyway, this is the video you guys all voted for, and about the second most votes. Sorry, I know I was gonna get to them all eventually, but about controversial and banned media, that video's been placed on an indefinite hiatus. Sorry, but that had a lot of issues in the scripting process. Every time I tried to write about it, I just it was just too heavy of a subject. A lot of the reasons were just sad, and a lot of them were pretty heavy, and some of them dealt with subjects that I do not want to talk about on this show. And look, I'm sorry if you voted for that, but it's been placed on an indefinite hiatus, so sorry, but yeah, it's been. Yeah, let's just get into the video. Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Lessons with Luismenverg. Today, we're talking about a part of nature that's often overlooked, and it's who eats what in the animal kingdom. This is the food chain. In a nutshell, it's basically a line that demonstrates how different animals relate to each other in an ecosystem based on who eats what. Food webs are something food chains make up, since sometimes things are eaten by more than one thing, and together these webs play an important role in keeping the natural order intact, as without one of these links the whole thing can fall apart. So let's go through every link on the chain and find out its role in nature. At the bottom of the chain, we find something that's not even alive: sunlight. Sunlight comes to Earth from the sun's rays and provides warmth to the land, and more importantly, it provides food to the next thing on the link: plants. Plants make their own food, which they do by absorbing sunlight and converting it into a sugary substance called glucose. So the plants get the sunlight and get all healthy and green and all that. Next up, herbivores. The herbivores eat the plants and have specifically designed teeth to do as much herbivore stuff as possible. They can grab large amounts of plants and either grind or cut them up. And finally, there's the carnivores. Carnivores hunt the herbivores and devour their flesh. These are the four main blocks of the food chain. Well, pretty simplified in all honesty. Some of them have more nuanced things than others, like in the ocean, there's a whole mess of carnivores compared to land. And, of course, deep in the ocean, thermal vents provide energy instead of sunlight, but you get the idea. To quote Mufasa, we are all connected in the great circle of life. And each part of the food chain plays a delicate role in the continued existence of life. No sunlight, no life at all. No plants, no food for herbivores, so they die out, leading to the carnivores dying out, therefore, no more life. No herbivores, then plants end up starting growing in abundance. They'll become so overgrown that eventually they'll be everywhere, and nobody wants that. And no carnivores, then herbivores will end up overpopulating like crazy, until eventually they clear out all the vegetation and starve to death. Whew. So yeah, delicate system. There's also other roles creatures can play in a food web. For example, microbes and funguses act as decomposition. They're the reason things rot, as it's the result of little organisms or fungi eating the flesh or rotting plant matter. Next, scavengers, which are meat eaters, but they only eat food that's already dead, which helps clean up dead bodies and prevents the spread of disease, since they often have very powerful and antiseptic stomach acid. Animals like dung beetles eat poop, which seems gross, but if they didn't do it, then the stuff would just be piling up everywhere. And remember, they often live in places full of massive animals, so they're definitely helpful in that regard. Some animals drink nectar, which coats them in pollen, which then spread around, which helps plants reproduce. Some animals eat fruits, but the seeds survive the digestion process and end up getting spread around, spreading the plants to far off places. Some animals are filter feeders. They live in the water, and their diet consists of microorganisms. And despite feasting on such tiny creatures, ironically, they're often some of the largest animals on Earth. Some animals are parasites and sustain themselves off of other animals without actually killing them. Some animals can only eat a single thing, so if that thing goes away, they die. Everything is connected, people. Every animal has a role they play. It's the circle of life, and we're all living in it. I would sing a song, but I don't want to get mad at Disney. Or they get mad at me, whichever. I'm already mad at them. They rejected my proposal for a series. I was gonna call it Lessons with Luismenverg, the animated series, but they rejected it because, quote, aren't you the girl who literally got an entire classroom killed? And I tried to tell them that. In my defense, I did not know coelophysis could be so vicious, but did they listen to me? No one ever listens to me. They all think I'm crazy. You guys think I'm crazy! I hope you enjoyed our little lesson today, children. I'll see you guys next time when we talk about the beep boop machines that you're probably on. Or a phone. I don't know. It's probably a phone. I don't even think anyone has a computer anymore. Dang it, I just spoiled what it's about. Forget that part where I said computer. You don't know what the next episode's about. Goodbye.